Hello, Kelly Whitaker here, founder of the registered Australian charity called Erinnah Group. We're a children and family mental health service which is predominantly Christian faith orientated. What we like to do is combine biblical scriptures with psychological strategies, and we find that often they line up very well. So a few weeks ago I jumped on with a video about the famous parenting advice in the Bible: train up a child the way that he should go, and he shall not depart from it. And we reflected on that with a few other supporting verses on parenting as well. But I had a revelation on what that was meaning for my family, my parenting journey that I shared, and it was about that feeling of I take offense, I take it very personally when the children don't do what you ask them to do. You take it like it's a personal offense against you, but really it's not. And because we're instructed to teach the child, to train him up, to guide him, set him on the right path. That's our job. Our job is not to force them onto the path. But that does not discount consequences. We do need consequences for our behaviour. So I do recommend going back and watching that video where I explain everything. And where that leads off was I was going to take some time to implement this new approach into my own life and report back how it's going with some guiding strategies so that you might be able to do your own experiment. I'm happy to report that the first week went really well. So what I did was I didn't try to change anything. I didn't set myself a plan. All I did was live with the realization that it's off my shoulders of taking things personally. No longer was I going to be feeling offended, guilty, or taking it personally when the children weren't doing what I said for them to do. So I just went about my day and my week with that in mind. I really ministered on it. So it was like a whole shift in how I was viewing things. It felt free that I no longer have to carry that. And so with that, we had just really nice harmony in the home for a really good week. Things that would normally really get to you just didn't. I was able to just respond more with connection instead of jumping with correction. And a good example of it was one of my children dropped a plate of their dinner on the tiles, and sauce was on that plate. They love loads of sauce, and it went everywhere. And your typical reaction when you're frustrated and stressed might be anger and why'd you do that, and oh my goodness, and all of that. But for me, I was just very calm and almost blasé about it. Oh, are you okay? Did you hurt yourself? All right. Okay, no worries, this happens. And then we were able to move forward to the consequence of when you break something, you got to clean it up, right? And there was no anger with it. It was more supportive, okay, so our first step is you're going to go get a cloth, then you'll have to get the vacuum cleaner once you picked up each of the big pieces. So we were able to handle that. Well, at least I was able to handle that a lot different to how it had been going recently. So yeah, the second week was a little bit more tough because I think I was challenged with how do I react when it's actually something that is personal, when something they did wrong actually does affect me personally. So the plate dropping, okay, it's my plate, and I should, I would have a right to be upset that my plate is broken. But that's fine. To me, a plate's a plate. I wasn't personally attached to it. But then the next week, something did happen where I felt like I'm personally wronged in one of the children's behaviors towards me. So that was really more challenging to deal with, and yeah, it wasn't a great day on that one. But that's okay, because out of that is where I decided I have some tools and resources right in front of my face that I can go to when things are beyond what I could normally deal with on a normal day or a stressful day. So I've created some posters for our family that have specific Bible verses that relate to our values for a family that I'm going to share with you as well. So just in the comments, you can look out for you, absolutely free. If you want to just download them and use them for yourself, cute little animal characters with some nice, beautiful Bible verses. And so there's 7 of them. I've just placed them around our main living areas, down the hall, one in the bathroom, because you got time to read it there. And it's just been a good couple of days now where we've been able to go around. So when I first introduced it to them, they came home, they didn't know I'd done it. I put it all around the house. They had a bit of fun, like finding them, where's mum hidden them. And then once they'd sort of, got over that, I said, pick your favourite one based on any reason, whether you like the cute picture or if the words resonate with you. Just pick your favourite one and we'll chat about it, rather than let's just talk about all of them all at once and it's just going to go over their head. So day 1, they each picked a favourite. We stood around the poster and they each got to read it out and share what they thought it meant for them and how we could make sure our family upholds that value. And that was really effective. And then left it for a few days and we did the same thing. What's your second favourite poster? And we each went to our second favourite poster and reviewed that as well. What I also did with that to really kind of strengthen this new thing was I introduced sort of like a token economy system where it's going to be, we're just using little tokens that you collect from, like we're using the ones from Woolies whenever you did your shop. They give you this silly little metal Disney token thing. We're just using those. You can use whatever. You've got paper, or I'm sure you've got some collectible thing that's collecting dust from Woolworths. So we're just using those. We've got a bunch of them and they're just sitting in a drawer in the lounge room. What you're going to do is each time you notice someone in the family showing one of those values that we can relate to one of the Bible verses up around on our posters, you're going to reward that person. You're going to recognize that person with a token to them. And that way, they're actually looking out for how others are behaving. They're considering how the family dynamics work. It's not all on them to change their behavior as well. It's also, identifying if mum and dad are doing something, if they can see us modeling one of those behaviors as well. So it's getting them to think outside of themselves and seeing how when you do act a certain way, it does impact others. And so I think this system is a lot more stronger than a system where it's just a parent rewarding a child for good behavior. So far, I think it's been 4 days. It's been going really well. Every Saturday, our plan is that we're going to count up your tokens. If you've got 10 tokens, you get to choose extra iPad time, or you get to choose the dinner we're going to have, things like that. So we've got a list of 10 tokens for this, 15 tokens for that. And so it's been a cute little experiment of seeing how they work together to try and make sure they get to their goals. The catch is though, you can't cheat. So it's not just hand out a token for nothing. So on Saturday you have to report back, I got this token for this and I got it for that. And so that they can't just make up, give each other free tokens to get the dinner that they want. They actually have to account for each one as well. So that's where we're at the moment. So I'll be eager to report back in a couple of weeks of how this new token system is going. But so far, so good. The posters seem to be doing a good job of keeping our values in the forefront of our minds when we're at home. So when things have got a bit tense, we're able to just point back to one of those and say, is this how we're showing the fruits of the Spirit? Is this how we're not bearing a grudge? Is this how we are showing that we can live in a safe, secure dwelling in peace together? Is this how we are a house not divided? Is this how we're showing 2 are better than 1? So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it so far. So check in again with me in a couple of weeks, and I hope you do use the resources, give it a go, and report back to me in the comments how it worked for your family.